Jessica Brevort, and this is Kitchen Table Productions, a show about living well with low carb. Now today I'm going to talk about omelets, and I know what you're thinking. You already know how to make an omelet, right? You just take some eggs, scramble them up, fry them in a pan, throw in some fillings, fold it over, and you're done, right? Well, you ever notice how omelets like to get brown on the outside and the inside can still stay a little runny? If so, then I'm going to show you some tricks and techniques for taking your omelets from merely passable to fabulous. The problem with most omelets is that by the time the omelet is cooked in the center and the filling has been warmed on the outside, it's been overcooked and is starting to brown. So temperature control is going to be crucial. The pan we're going to be using is over very low heat. I'm going to help it out by pre-warming my egg. You can see I've got them in this bowl of warm tap water while I prepare my filling ingredients. Today I'm going to be making a ham and green onion omelet. My next trick for overcoming the cooked on the outside raw and the inside omelet is that I'm actually going to heat up these filling ingredients first by putting them in the microwave for about 30 seconds, just enough to warm them up. It's important to make sure that any meats you're going to add to an omelet are pre-cooked because there's not going to be enough heat to cook raw meat through. In fact, it's not even going to warm it up. The one filling I won't preheat generally is hard or firm cheese. Now, you do want to make sure that it's finely grated though for easy melting. Here's my pan. You'll notice it's very smooth and non-stick with a slightly sloping sides. Now this smoothness is important for omelets. If your pan is scratched up, your omelet is more likely to catch on those scratches and tear horribly. I also have a lid standing by. So we'll just go like that. If you don't have a lid for your pan, you can use a larger pan or pot over the top to accomplish the same thing. Now my pan's been heating on a very low heat. On a scale of 1 to 8, it's probably about a 2. Now this is very smooth, but I want it to be as slick as well, just as slick as I can make it. So I'm going to add in some more lubrication in the form of a tablespoon of butter. There we go. I can tell my pan is a little hot because it immediately started bubbling and frying. You want it to melt just slightly and bubble very slowly. I'm just going to pull it off the heat for a few seconds. Now if you put your butter in and it just sits there, then your pan is too cold. Now if your butter starts to bubble up and fry the moment you get it in the pan, just like that, then your pan is too hot. You see the butter is already starting to brown. Okay, this is just about perfect. Now here are my warmed eggs. Crack them open. I'm just going to beat them with a pinch of salt. Now most professional cooks will tell you not to pre-salt eggs because it toughens them up. And that's true if you're working in with a large container of beaten eggs that are sitting for hours in a restaurant kitchen waiting to be breakfast. But since we're going to cook these right away, there's no time really for salt to pull off its toughening act. Now before I put my eggs in the pan, I'm going to start the heating of my omelet fillings in my microwave for 30 seconds. Okay, now in go my eggs. As the eggs begin to cook, I'm just going to draw the edges in and pull them underneath. See how they kind of cook? I'll draw this in and let the uncooked egg run into its new places. Beautiful. See how nicely and slowly that's cooking? Now when the egg stops moving, I'm going to add my cheese. Add the cheese in first because it needs the most help melting. And I'm going to add my warmed ingredients. There we go. Green onion, ham, beautiful. Now I'm just going to put my cover on this and let this sit for about a minute. Now what the cover is doing is it's keeping the heat in, it's cooking the top of the eggs, it's melting the cheese, and making it all nice and gooey. If you think your pan is a little hot, you can actually turn off the heat at this point. Just let the residual heat do the work. Alright, there is my cooked omelet. Now to depan it. Just going to give it a quick shake. See, yes, it's moving very nicely. If your omelet is moving, then a lot of times it's easier to fold as you put it onto your plate, just like this. You pull out one half, and then just fold the other half over. If it didn't move, then what you can do is fold it in half in the pan, and then slide it out. Isn't that a perfect omelet? Gorgeous. This is perfect. The only thing runny in this omelet is the cheese. Now, most people tend to think of omelets as only being for breakfast. It's not true. They work great for lunch and even better for dinner. I'm going to show you my version of a dinner omelet. Now, this is going to be a 3-egg omelet, and again, we're going to warm them up in hot water just like we did before. Now, I have here about 1/4 cup of spinach. It's about half a can, and I have removed most of the liquid by pressing it through a strainer. I'm just going to add about 1/4 cup of ricotta cheese, 1/4 cup of mushrooms that I've previously sliced and cooked. I like to keep these on hand just to have around. A tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, and a clove of crushed garlic. I'm just going to mix all of this up, and again I'm going to preheat it before I put it in my omelet. Oops, a couple of escapees there. About a minute or so in my microwave should do it. There's a little bit more stuff here than last time, so it needs to cook a little bit longer to get it warm. Okay, same technique as last time. Salt in right before you cook. There's just some slight bubbling now forming in my butter. I'm just going to pull in the sides as it cooks. Slow and easy is the key to omelets. Get out my spinach mixture. There we go. Okay, now as soon as it no longer is running, we start adding in our filling. You see, I'm only going to add it down right through the middle this time because I'm going to go for a trifold. There we go. And once again, I'll just cover this and let it sit for 1 minute over that very low heat. Beautiful. And it still goes. This time, since I'm going for a trifold, I'm going to pull this back, flip that part over. Now I'm going to reverse direction. Set it off onto my plate. When I get about here, flip it over. There. One beautiful, perfect dinner omelet. Well, there you have it. Just pre-warm your eggs, pre-warm your fillings, and cook over very low heat and try to keep it covered to cook that top part. Now, there are so many wonderful omelet combinations out there. You could have an omelet for every meal, every day, an entire month, and never have the same one twice. Well, I hope we've inspired you to try some omelets. For this recipe and many others, please visit our website, kitchentableproductions.net. I'm Jessica Brevort, and this has been Kitchen Table Productions.